Congratulations, you finally made it to 4 p.m. You know what that means. Happy hour. It's time to kick back, relax, and dive into the world of sports with the Young and Norvelle Show. Whether you're catching up on the latest scores, analyzing the big plays, or gearing up for tonight's games, we've got you covered. So grab a cold one, settle in, and let's talk sports. Here they are, Patrick Young and Terry Norvelle.
Okay, so I think as I welcome you to a Thursday edition of the Young and Norvelle Show, coming to you from the patio right here, live from the patio in just outside the main restaurant of Sliders Oyster Bar. We're down in Neptune Beach. You know that by now. In Thursday, we're here every single Thursday. Patio starting to fill up. Obviously, it's happy hour, 4 to 6, big time happy hour, and just a fun play. Great weather. My God, how good is this weather? First week of November, it may be touching 84, 85 degrees here today. It feels wonderful. Patio filling up. Great time to hang out. If you're getting off work, if you're in the area, come by and say hi. If not, well, hopefully you're doing what you're doing, watching our show on the stream here, the Young and Norvelle Show, produced today by Zach Rothrock. We'll get Zach on here. And I think I came up with this phrase years ago. I'm going to at least take credit for it. Never a dull moment in Gainesville. There's just never, ever, ever a dull moment in Gainesville. Today, around noon, 1 o'clock, I think it's when I saw the press release. Athletic Director Scott Strickland, Florida Gator Athletic Director Scott Strickland, releases a press release. And it is basically, it's unorthodox. I'll say this. This doesn't happen all the time, and it's unique that it has happened. But Florida Athletic Director Scott Strickland today penned a 4 or 5 paragraph letter to Gator Nation. And the crux of it, we'll go to it in a little bit. We'll have it, and I want to read most of it. The crux of it is, hey, Gator Nation, we just want you to know over here in Gainesville at the football program that Billy Napier is going nowhere. He will become our coach or stay our coach the rest of this year and into next year. Billy Napier is our coach. We're behind him. We just wanted to make a public statement, maybe to recruits, maybe to boosters, but Florida, Scott Strickland, athletic director at the University of Florida, came out with about a 6-paragraph letter that basically said, Gator Nation, Billy Napier is our guy the rest of this year and next year. We're not firing him. Zach Rothrock, you've got it up there on the screen. And let me go through it for people that maybe are driving or can't quite read it. Here we go. This may be bad TV or radio, but I want to read it. And then, Zach, to me, when I read it, there are 2 letters to Gator Nation. There's the initial letter that we're looking at on the screen I'm going to read, and then there's a secondary letter that you have to read between the lines. And I'm good at that, and I will read between the lines. There are 2 letters here, but let's go. Here is the letter in case you can't quite read it. Maybe you're driving, like I said, or at work. Scott Strickland, Florida Athletic Director, released this through the communications department at UF midday today. Gator Nation, I wanted to let you know that Billy Napier will continue as head football coach of the Florida Gators. Let's stop right there, Zach. Right out of the gate, there is no ambiguity. There's no, what is this letter about? I mean, they go right for the jugular vein, right? That first and foremost tells me, Zach, that UF, the athletic program, the football program, the athletic director, and probably the president, they understand there is a lot of, to borrow a Ron Zook term from years ago, there's a lot of noise in the system.
Yeah, you don't just come out and say make a statement like this without being like provoked from some direction. Yeah, for sure. They got their ears open.
Yeah, that first sentence, to me, they go right for the kill. There is no ambiguity, as I said. I wanted to let you know, and this is titled Gator Nation, I wanted to let you know that Billy Napier will continue as head football coach at the University of Florida. End first sentence. To me, that tells you, here's between the lines. And again, there's two messages here. I think there are two letters here. You got to know how to read between the line. And I do. I've been around this a long time. That first sentence says, holy guaca freaking moly. We understand that there is a lot of noise in the system around Gator football. And December 9th is signing day, and the portal opens up in December. If we've got any chance to do anything to strengthen our football program in the offseason, we've got to do something to stabilize. And what we can do is this letter. So that's read between the lines, number one. There are a lot of noise.
Yeah, for sure.
You agree with that?
Oh, yeah. I mean, not only incoming players, but also retaining players. Like, I mean, not just DJ Lagway, obviously, but I mean, he's certainly one of the big ones. And he had a reaction to this. I think he had 2 Gator emojis and a thumbs up or a smiley face or something. Like, it was a positive reaction for it.
Yeah, 200%. You're right. And by the way, guys like DJ Lagway, they saw this letter way before it made it out onto the internet. But that's our start. Okay, so that's paragraph 1. Paragraph number 2 on this Gator Nation letter sent out by Florida Football and Scott Strickland. As we've seen these past several weeks, the young men on this team represent what it means to be a Gator. Their resolve, effort, and execution are evident in their performance and growth each week, building a foundation that promises greater, and listen to this part, promises greater success next season and beyond. End paragraph. End second paragraph. All right, Zach. He says greater success next season and beyond. If you know how to read between the lines, that really says we're giving my man one more year, but 6 or 7 wins ain't going to do it, my man.
Yeah, it's got to get better next
6
year.
or 7 wins. This team needs to be up in that 9-ish win range next year. Greater success next season and beyond. Zach, that's what that paragraph number 2 says, if you know how to read it, my man.
I would say, yeah, I can agree with your reading between the lines statement on that for sure.
And now, people may scream at me for saying this. Unfortunately, it reads as a little bit of Shad Khan last year going into the season for the Jaguars, right? This is the best team. We expect a bunch of blah, blah, blah. But that's what that second paragraph says. Okay, so we continue with Scott Strickland's letter to Gator Nation. Paragraph 3, I think, was okay. Pretty cut and dry. UF's commitment to excellence and championship caliber program is unwavering. In these times of change across college athletics, we are dedicated to a disciplined, stable approach that is focused on long-term, sustained success for Gator athletes, recruits, and fans. Okay, period. End of paragraph 3. That basically, if you know how to read between the lines, that basically says, hey, man, if we keep spinning our wheels every 3 years and fire and higher and higher and fire and fire and higher and higher, it would take a miracle for that process to work out right. So I'm okay with that third paragraph. Now, Zach, let's go to paragraph number 4. This is the earlier today released letter to Gator Nation by Florida football / athletic director Scott Strickland. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, excellence. I'm going to make sure I get the right paragraph. Okay, so we get down to paragraph 4. Okay, let me scroll down just a little bit. I am confident that Billy, and this is from Scott Strickland, the athletic director. This is his letter pinned to Gator Nation. I am confident that Billy Napier, will meet the challenges and opportunities ahead. We will, okay, and listen to this real good. We will work alongside him to support any changes needed to elevate Gator football. As college athletics evolves, UF is committed, and hear how this is worded. UF is committed to embracing innovation and strategy, ensuring the Gators thrive in today's competitive landscape. Okay, that paragraph right there, there's a lot of things said between the lines in paragraph number 4 that we will work alongside him to support any changes needed to elevate Gator football. Zach Rothrock, what that is saying, and the word changes, if you know how to read a letter like this between the lines, that is saying that we're doing all this and we're keeping Billy Napier around, but we / he / us, we have all agreed there will be structural changes to the football structure of coaching, staff. That tells me 1,000% that somewhere between right now and Florida versus Miami in late August next year in Miami, when they get the season off, that tells me UF, Scott Strickland, big boosters, whoever runs and has a big stick in running Florida football has gone to Billy Napier and said, we're going to keep you around, my man, but we're not doing status quo. You have got to bring in somebody to run the offense, and you, Billy Napier, have got to bump yourself up, and it's not really a promotion, but it can look like a promotion. You've got to bump yourself up to more of a CEO coach and turn over a lot of game management, ball plays on offense. You've got to turn that over. Now, that doesn't mean you're just a figurehead. You've got veto power. You still can run the game from a CEO point of view, Billy Napier. I'm still talking from the Gator power broker side. You can still run the game. You make the call. Do we go for it on 4th down? You make the call. Do we burn some timeouts in the first half, or do we just go to locker room? You make the call. If we're running the ball down another team's throat, do we send in this double reverse pass? You can void and veto, and you make the call, but you're not going to run the offense and run the game management because you have shown a propensity that it's too much. That's too much on your plate. That's absolutely the way I've read paragraph number 4. Zach Rothrock, tell me I'm crazy, but that's exactly how I've read this.
Oh no, you've said far crazier things before. I think you're making a lot of sense on this. I feel like you've been thinking about this. You came in with some fire on this particular subject, and I like that. I mean,
I got notes here.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I was going to say there are no, moral victories at the University of Florida, and it feels like they've kind of been having moral victories lately, like particularly this past Saturday. So I think the standard is gonna rise up. I mean, Billy Napier's kind of been hit with some bad luck with the quarterback injuries this season in particular.
A little bit.
The defense did improve from last season to this season. They forced a lot more turnovers. They're more of my God, they couldn't have gotten worse from last season. They definitely could only get better. But yes, they have gotten better. So I can kind of understand the thought process behind wanting to extend him, because you don't want to turn into a place where coaches just come and get fired every couple of years, and then you keep turning it. And it's almost kind of like how I've viewed the Cleveland Browns before they got the Stefanski guys. Just you bring in a guy, he gets fired. You bring in a guy, you don't want to do that at the University of Florida. And the recruiting thing is huge. You want to be able to retain guys like DJ Lagway and keep things going like that. So, I know that most of Gator Nation is going to be disappointed with this decision.
Yeah.
But, logistically, what you can't just pick any coach you want. You can't get 2005 Nick Saban. So,
no.
Your hands are kind of tied to a certain extent. And Billy Napier could improve.
Cut you off that?
No, you're good.
Right now, current Gator football is not pretty enough to go throw your name and get the great coach. Now, I want to back way up. I should have led off with this. It's on my notes, but I did not. This letter, and I'm not saying I know this, but this letter also could be born from, and they will never say this, this letter to Gator Nation might be born from we struck out on some coaches. Because if you guys don't think that the Jimmy Sextons of the world the super agent that runs college football. If you don't think that the Jimmy Sextons of the world and the big programs talk all season, you're crazy. This letter may have you can't really admit and say, hey, by the way, we're sticking behind Billy. Here's our letter. Here's what we're going to do. Billy, all the resources. Yes, help him. Well, they can't lead off the first sentence by saying, by the way, we made a hellacious run at Lane Kiffin. And we made offers, and we threw out, and we sent a blank check, and he said no. I'm not saying that's what happened, but this letter could be born because they swung and missed. They were told no. That also, Zach, could be the reason for this letter.
I mean, yeah, I mean that's pretty big speculation. I mean, there was definitely a lot of rumors. In particular, I heard Shane Matthews really vying for Lane Kiffin to be the coach. So I mean, there was a lot of noise as far as that goes, and that's probably where that's definitely where this letter. Because that was the first thing that I thought of when I saw the letter was that this is because of the swirling rumors that are just nonstop.
Yeah,
no matter every
Lane
result.
Kiffin very well through back channels, and this happens. It happens. It happens in sports. It happens in big business. Back channels. Lane Kiffin may have said, and this is just Terry talking, but I think it's plausible. He may have said a couple of things. He may have said, no, I'm not interested. You know what? I got a good job. I like where I'm at. We're about to go deep in the playoffs, maybe. I like where I'm at. I like the Ole Miss. I don't have as much pressure. If I go to Florida, I've got to win 11 games every 2-3 years. He might have said that. Or keep in mind, this is just Terry talking. Lane Kiffin also may have told Florida / his agent. I think he's a Jimmy Sexton. Everything goes through Jimmy Sexton, no matter what. He runs college football. Lane Kiffin may have said, "Hey, Florida, I'm interested, but I can't commit to you right now. It's not fair, and I can give you a yes or no the Monday after the championship games, but I cannot commit to you. I just can't commit to you, even if it's quiet behind the scenes. I can't do that." And Florida may say, you know what, we can't wait on you and make the announcement December 20th because portal has been open, signing day has been open. There's a million. This could easily be Lane Kiffin said, not right now, UF. Not right now, UF. It could be.
Potentially. I mean, that's pretty speculative, though. I mean, I don't want to just say that that definitely happened.
Yeah.
But I think that the recruiting aspect is a pretty large part because when the rumors are swirling that your coach isn't going to be there for 2025, it's going to be pretty much impossible to sign a solid freshman class for 2025.
And Zach, to keep or sign, just brutal. So I understand why Florida did this. If Napier's going to be around, I understand why they did this. But yeah. Reading between the lines, I see, and I've been around this a long time. But number one, it's very awkward for this letter to be come out. You normally do not release a press conference newsletter to your fan base.
Yeah, absolutely not.
Very, very, very odd. But with that said, I totally read between the lines. And to me, all these paragraphs, whether 4 or 5 paragraphs, all these paragraphs say, we're keeping Billy Napier, but there are going to be major changes. And when are those announced? I don't know. I would imagine before Orange and Blue. But, Zach, I don't want to be one of these liberal – and we never want to bring politics in, but we may talk about politics a little later about sports. But, Zach, I don't know what I can put as a almost guarantee. I would be stunned if Billy Napier at some point from right now until the start of the Orange and Blue game does not announce, does not stand in front of a press conference, does not have a letter released that says, hey, listen, Coach Billy Napier here, University of Florida, we're excited going into our 4th year. As a good quality organization, we are always striving to improve our product. I think that's business 101. With that said, I've made a couple of determinations. I think I want to bring in a offensive coordinator to take the play calling and the coordinating off my plate. I think I am better served, and our program is better served if I have a CEO type role around our program and game day. I think I can help defense and offense and special teams a little more instead of being structured to one and tethered to one. With that, we are bringing in XYZ offensive coordinator. And that's the end of my dissertation. Zach, I would be stunned. This letter to me says that in between the lines. Billy Napier, you can stick around. You've done a lot of good things. You struggle mightily with game management. You struggle mightily. You don't have a great feel for offense, play calling. If you want to stick around with $8 million and maybe make this long term, if you can make some adjustments, you have to bring in an offensive coordinator to relieve some of the game day stress, because you have shown over not just 3 years now at Florida. He was a head coach in Division I 4 years before he got to Florida. Billy, you need to step aside and be more of a CEO. That's what I totally read from this letter, Zach.
Yeah, I mean, they need to get a new offensive coordinator, and they need to somehow figure out a way to not have 12 men on the field on special teams.
Yeah, that helps.
Helps. You know what?
They still play with only 11 on the field, right? Is that still the
yeah?
rule?
You're supposed to. That by rule, you were supposed to have 11. Yeah. Now, if I was the University of Georgia, and I was their athletic director, Josh Brooks, today I would release an identical letter with Georgia colors that says, you know what? Kirby Smart's going to continue to be our head coach in the future. He's going to retain his job. He's going to just keep going, because that's basically it's basically like a non-announcement. Just say we're not going to It
really is.
Yeah.
And again, Zach, you've been around this a long time. You're a big college football guy. You've been around it. This is awkward. You generally don't have a press release to announce we're not firing our guy. Very awkward.
Right. Yeah, I'm not sure I've ever seen that, honestly.
Wouldn't that be great if the Georgia AD, the Tennessee AD, the Florida State AD, all the big rivals of Florida, wouldn't it be great if they all come out with their own press releases that basically say, hey, in light of Florida's release earlier today, we support that release.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Right.
We support Napier keeping the job.
Yeah, he should stay there, right? Yeah,
Wouldn't
for sure.
That be great?
Oh, yeah. I mean, if I was the Georgia athletic director, his name is Josh Brooks. If I was him, the Florida one got posted around 11:30, I think, or maybe 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
Mine would have been posted by noon, saying that, you know what, we're going to extend. We're keeping Kirby Smart for next year, too. 100%.
And we're extending Kirby.
Yeah.
We'd like to play Florida, too, maybe 3 times a year. And we support everything that Scott Strickland just said. We support Billy Napier. As a matter of fact, here's $1,000 toward your NIL. You keep right.
Yeah, for sure.
Keep Napier. Hey, keep Napier around. We love him. But yeah, big news out of Gainesville, and again, that tells you where Florida football's at. If you are you're not in a good place if week 11 of the college football season, with your head football coach in his third year, not his first year, his third year, right? He's slowly wrapping up year 3. You're not in a great place when you are issuing major press releases from your athletic director, some 6 paragraphs deep, saying we're not firing our head coach. That is not good.
No, definitely not. That's not where you envision yourself being at this stage when you do the hiring process. You don't expect to be there.
Now, looking ahead, it could turn out to be okay. It might be the best thing. Billy Napier, if he can give away control and he hires the right OC, and Billy is more of a CEO. And by the way, there are more than one way to skin a cat as a head football coach at a Power 5. Everybody doesn't have to be Steve Spurrier calling every offensive play, right?
For sure.
Some guys, it's fine. There's a phrase in coaching, not just football, but coaching. Some coaches coach players, and some coaches coach coaches to then go coach players. You know what I mean? And that second example is the CEO example, and that works. Zach, if I'm the head football coach, and you are one of my 7 coaches, right, on my staff, 8 coaches, whatever it is, 8 or 9 coaches, okay? It has been successful over the years. There's not one way to do it. I may have no problem. Okay, guys, we meet every morning from 9 to 10. Me, you, and all the coaching staff, right? And I'm going to coach you on how I want you to coach your positions. linebacker coach, DB, secondary. Some coaches are CEO. That's a CEO type of coach.
Yeah, I think that's more or less. Yeah, that's more or less like how Dan Campbell in Detroit is, and then Ben Johnson just does the offensive coordinating and play calling.
Yeah. Now, Steve Spurrier coached players. He was a coach on the offensive side that coached players, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bobby Bowden, the end of his tenure, he was much more CEO. He kind of met with his coaches and said, "Okay, when we go out to the practice field at 2:30." I want us to do this or this with our DBs or linebackers. So there's no one way to do it, but I think Billy Napier has shown such failure, and I'm sorry to sound that rough, such failure trying to be here in the 3.5 hours of a football game with TV and lights and 90. Billy Napier has shown he cannot handle calling the plays, dictating, do we go for it or not on fourth down? Do we go for a block or not on defense? Because keep in mind, he's offense, right? Do we, hey, coach, what do we do here? We're about to get the ball at the end of the half with 94 seconds. We've got 2 timeouts. Coach, do you want us to sit on it? Right? Napier has shown that he has trouble with all of those decision makings, right? I don't think there's any argument. He struggles game management.
Oh yeah, there's multiple examples of it unraveling.
He's got a great feel for the game. There are too many times where Billy Napier has been shoving the football down the opponent's throat, and then he decides to throw a wacky throwback pass. With that said, that's the only way. I said, Billy, you've got to delegate some stuff if you think you're going to be long-term at Florida. And to me, that's what that entire letter said, that Billy agrees and he understands. And Zach, as we go to break, I don't know when it's going to happen, and I don't know how I can make it more dramatic. Am I going to be a liberal and say I'm going to leave the country if he does not hire an OC, right? You know how the liberals are leaving because of the election, blah, blah, blah. We don't want to get deep. But I tell you what, I will put myself on a week's probation if and Zach, you have to host the show for an entire week, and I'll go party.
Oh, God.
I have a week off. I will put myself on a week's probation if by next April or whenever, I think it's in April, by next April, if Billy Napier has not publicly announced that he is hiring an offensive coordinator.
Wow. That's quite a proclamation.
By Saturday of the Orange and Blue game coming up in 2025.
Okay, that's a good deadline.
And by the way, I kind of hope I miss because I'll take a week off and I'll love it, by the way. But anyway, I will put myself on a week's probation. That is what I think that entire letter is saying. It is saying, Napes, you got to get some stuff off your plate, my man, because nothing wrong with you. You can't handle all of these responsibilities. And by the way, remember now, in game situations, do we punt? Do we not punt? Do we take time out? Do we not take time out? What play? You got about 35 seconds to make those decisions. Some people, that's just not, you're just not good at that. That doesn't mean Billy Napier is not a good football coach, but that might mean he's not a guy that has to make quick 35-second decisions. Make sense?
Yeah, I mean, it feels like a lot of teams kind of have like an analytics, like a chart where they do like if this situation we do that. Maybe they have a one that's just not very well structured or organized or something. There's clearly a disconnect when it comes to that type of stuff for sure. They've had too many games unravel due to these game management situations at the end of halves, at the end of the game, all the time.
And it's been the same stuff. It's been the same stuff. It's not like
same mistakes.
It's not like Napier in his 2 3/4 seasons at Florida. Forget Louisiana, but at Florida, it's not like there's been 16 different things that you go, wow. How did he? Wow. It's been 2 or 3 things consistent.
Yeah, probably the 12 men on the field thing has happened entirely too many times.
You got to stop. Hey, unless you could petition the NCAA to say, hey, can we have 12 men on the field now in football? You got to get a handle on that one, Billy.
Mm-hmm.
You got to get to the 11. 11. All right, long first segment. I hope you enjoyed it. If you've got comments, questions, feel free to drop it on our chat section. and we would love to hear from you. Whoa, we are rocking and rolling Thursday from Sliders Oyster Bar. Place is filling up. Happy hour, the best seafood, the freshest seafood. You know where you will find it because they bring it in right here at Sliders from Safe Harbor Seafood. The boats were out this afternoon, and the seafood iced down and brought. I mean, you talk about the ocean to your plate. If you're one of those weirdos, quote unquote, that likes the freshest seafood, you'll find it right here at Sliders Oyster Bar. One down, a long way to go on Thursday.
At Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, we know pain and injuries can stop you from doing what you love. This is why our board-certified orthopedic specialists offer the latest in both non-surgical and surgical treatment options and create a treatment plan tailored to your unique lifestyle and goals. So, whether it is a sports injury or that nagging pain that's keeping you from doing what you love, our team has the right treatment for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dynamic Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
The Action Sports Jax 24/7 network is streaming. I'm Stuart Weber, and I'm here to teach you a nice three-step process on how you can watch all your favorite programming from the Brent and Austin Show every weekday 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. or the Cup Date with me. It's fantastic. We talk NASCAR. It's a great time. Wednesdays at 1 o'clock. All right, first step, easy. Download the Action News Jax app. You probably already have it downloaded on your phone, so you might already have that one taken care of. Step 2, see that stack of pancakes up there? You click that stack of pancakes, and it's going to bring down step number 3, which is a full screen of all the different streams that you can click on, including the Action Sports Jax 24/7 stream. You click that, the video's rocking and rolling on your mobile device, you're watching all the shows you want to, and you're having a good time. You can also do it on your smart TV with the Action News Jax Now app. I do it on my Samsung TV at home. It's a great way to watch it on a nice, large screen for all the content. That's the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network. Hope you can find it.
You trust CGC to make your water great, and now you can trust CGC with your plumbing needs as well. Fast, convenient scheduling, licensed and insured. A quick call away at 904-552-1242.
You never know when you're going to have an issue with a shower, toilet, or maybe it's a sink that sometimes is easy to fix. All right, let's be honest. I'm not fixing anything. I'm totally staging this because when I have a plumbing problem, I call CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing.
Trained professionals, transparent pricing, customer satisfaction. Small problem or even a bigger issue. Maybe you need a new tankless water heater or something a bit more intricate. The experts with 25 years of experience at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing can do it all. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. That's 904-552-1242 or cgcwater.com. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 143-2579.
All righty, proud to announce that Johnny Pop is on the Oyster Bar. He was actually 5 minutes ago. Oh, yeah, there's Johnny Pop. He's running that Oyster Bar. He's been doing it for a long time here at Sliders Oyster Bar down in Neptune Beach. The best seafood, the freshest seafood. They pipe it in right from the dock right over there. Safe Harbor Seafood supplies the great seafood here at Sliders. They will prepare it to your liking, no matter what it is. If it's seafood, they carry it, and they make it great to your specifications here at Sliders Oyster Bar. I'm set up on the patio. Patrick has a speaking engagement. We hope to hear from Pat a little bit later today on the program. Boy, he speaks a lot. Hey, Zach, as I bring our producer, Zach Rothrock, have you figured it out? It just started dawning on me. Patrick gets about 1,000 speaking engagements to my 1. And then he gets another 1,000, and then somebody calls me.
Yeah, how does that happen?
It's about 1,000 to 1. I think people are scared. I think I'm intimidated, right? And Patrick
that has to be it.
Big smile and Patrick.
Mm-hmm.
And Zach, you know me. I'm not intimidated. I'm a sweet guy, right? Sweet guy.
Yeah, I mean, it has to be the intimidation factor. It can't have, anything to do with, Patrick being a former Florida Gator basketball player and having a good story and all this stuff. When we were at the basketball game on Monday, my wife in particular was very surprised. Like, she's like, "Wow, this guy's like a big deal. There's like people coming up to him like left and right every like couple of minutes." And I was like, "Yeah, he is kind of a big deal." Yeah.
We did have fun. It was, number one, it was nice to see you and your wife get out.
Yeah.
I know you had a babysitter with your little one, but Zach and Patrick set that up. I was just going to go sit in the press row, right? But Patrick was very kind. I don't know if you probably know this. He cut a little roundabout deal and just got us 4 tickets. You, your wife, myself, and Patrick, so we could sit in the in that area, and it was just kind of in the crowd, right? And you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Poor Patrick, and he loved it, but he didn't watch a lot of basketball because everybody was coming up to talk.
Yeah, everybody wanted to come up. Everybody wanted to say, "Hey, how's it going?" Get a handshake. Yeah, every 5 minutes. Oh yeah, I mean this guy could be a politician the way that he was, smiling, shaking hands, and doing all the stuff with him. Yeah,
and he is he's so good at that, isn't he? And
yeah.
He's just a lovable guy. He's just a likable, lovable guy. And I don't who was the who was the guy that never met a stranger, the politician, or that's kind of there was a phrase, so and so never met a stranger.
Yeah, for sure.
Patrick's kind of that guy, right? I mean, he has never met a stranger.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like he starts signing autographs. Patrick, we're on the air. Pat, come here. Pat, tell him to wait.
You can't just deny the people.
Wait 3 minutes. But hey, that was a lot of fun, wasn't it? The basketball game the other night.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, the Gators I think they got a good team. I mean, if they could just hit their 3-pointers and not start off 2 for 9 or 11, whatever it was they started off for, they really could have took over that game. So I think they're gonna have a good year.
They are. They pulled away from South Florida late and won by 15-18, whatever. But you're right. Florida in the first half could, and they're going to be a good shooting team.
Yeah, it's not going to happen every night.
Shooter. Martin from FAU, who played in the Final Four, he played in the Final Four game for FAU 2 years. He was the leading scorer in the game. In the Final Four, they're going to shoot it well. The Gators were 5 of 25 from 3-point land.
That's not going to happen every night.
But they're pretty good. They go deep. They've got everything, right? They've got size. They've got ball handlers. They've got scorers. They've got defenders. They're going to be good. Hey, we kind of buried the lead a little bit, or one of the leads, with the Florida Scott Strickland letter to Gator Nation, and we went over that like in ad nauseum the first half of the show.
Yeah,
Zach, have you heard or read? The word is Lagway was at weight workouts on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Lagway limitedly, but he practiced on Wednesday and supposedly was on the practice field today, Thursday. Now, I don't know how hard he's going. I don't know if it's a light jog, but Zach, he's on the field at least.
Yeah, the general consensus that I've gotten from that is that there's no way he's going to play this week, given the injury, the extreme hamstring injury. I think this is just one of those cases where, he's a competitor and he wants to be out there, and they're basically having to tell him no and keep him off the field. Yeah. But I just really don't think that there's a realistic shot that he plays on Saturday.
Yeah, I'm with you. Now, a lot of times, and you've been around these games now,
mm-hmm.
from the medical side, this team side, a lot of times, if you are trying to come back quickly, as quick as you can, you've got to show some stuff. So showing that you're running around lightly this week may help you play next week, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Or you kick it up a notch next week, practice-wise. You don't play this week, but you run around a little bit. You don't play next week, you run around a little more because you're trying to show these medical staff, you can say what you want. The medical staffs with these teams, they want their teams to win. Don't get me wrong. But their first charge, people in the medical field, their first charge, and they're all professional, and they're supposed to be, is your well-being, right? They're not thinking, man, this guy is 60%, but he could help the University of Florida beat Texas. No, medical guys and young ladies don't think like that, and they're not supposed to, right?
No, they just want to be healthy.
Man, I'm not going to sign my name on putting you back on the field. If you want to usurp me and go above my head, that's your business. But this guy's not ready.
Yeah, and I kind of think that's what's happening. I think he is kind of just going above and he's just trying to do as much as he can and just prove.
And he may be trying to show off for LSU week or Ole Miss week.
Yeah,
not necessarily.
And he might be ready for those games.
And you know what? If by some miracle he did play a little bit in Austin Saturday, I certainly think Florida will open up the game with Warner or Millen, one of those backup, and just see how it goes. Now, the scary part of that is if you let the backup guys play 2 or 3 series, you may be down 21-0 in 5 minutes, right? They may just sneak it up. But what you think, even if Lagway is given a little clearance, if you're Napier, don't you say, hey, DJ, hang tight. Let's let the game play out. Let's let the game play out. If the end of the first quarter and we're down 14-7, okay, stay on the sideline, DJ. If we get to halftime and it's 21-14, stay on the sideline. Now, you may throw it in there if it starts getting out of hand, but if it gets way out of hand, you damn sure take him out, don't you?
Oh yeah, definitely if it's out of hand. I mean, I feel like if he's ready to play, you just go ahead and start him. I don't really love the idea of playing Warner and then bringing DJ in later, but I would just say don't play him at all, especially not to harp on the same subject that we went on for the first second for so long, but with Napier getting extended, there's kind of less pressure to win now. It's kind of more, we need to be ready for 2025 and to be the best team we can be in 2025. Obviously, that means we need a 100% DJ Lagway at quarterback. And so you don't want to further injure him.
And you wonder, and I know over the years, I've done this a long time, over the years, some different fan bases will say, in a situation like this, you get a quarterback hurt in the middle of the season, you're down to nothing backing him up. It's a real concern. Well, I'll tell you one thing. Why don't we just go wishbone or just go? Well, you can't throw a new offense in 1 week. I mean, you can try.
Right. Oh, yeah.
But it's right. If you say, well, wait a minute. Jaden Ball was a option running back for Florida, was an option running quarterback at Marietta Norcross High School in Georgia. Well, it's
I don't know. Yeah.
Say, okay, let's
That's
just
too
start
much.
running option. Think about it. Your offensive linemen, they've got totally different responsibilities for a total option team. It's hard to do.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you can go in that full of an extreme to just rework the whole thing and start using Army's playbook necessarily. But I mean, definitely what you could do is, on select third downs and on second downs where you need to do a pass play, do ones that Warner's comfortable with and do reads that concepts that that he can succeed in. Just put him in a position to make a good read and make a good throw. I mean, the guy's got to be decent at reading defenses and throwing the football. He's a quarterback. I mean, he can't just be like a deer in the headlights back there every play. I mean, he's got to have some sense of stability about him. It's not like going into the game in the second quarter against Georgia is completely different than having a full week of practice and then playing against Texas. You're set up way more for success that way.
What's probably happening in Gainesville right now is I could see Napier and his offensive staff working with Warner and kind of working 6 or 7 screen passes, little passes in the flat, quick button hooks, things like that. Because you got to throw the ball a little bit. The problem is Texas knows that, and they know you don't have a real vertical passing attack. So they're
I
going
mean, he might the first play that he did against Georgia, they attempted I don't know what the pattern was. It was some type of deep 30+ yard pass. So I mean, he that might be one of his strengths. He might have a deep ball.
I saw it. He threw the hell out of it. But then, Zach, every pass after that, I was tapping my buddy on the shoulder, and I go, did that ball slip out of his hand? Tell me that wasn't his throw. He threw some god-awful pass.
Yeah, he did. Like I said, going into the game in the second quarter against Georgia, you haven't had a week's worth of practice. It'll be. I think he'll be a lot more comfortable against Texas. Now it is hard that you got to be on the road in Austin. That does make it tough.
On the road in Austin, they got about 108,000 fans. But I concur with what you just said. If I'm Billy Napier, and I know you only have a week, but Saturday, if Lagway doesn't play, and I don't think he will play, if Florida snaps the football 55 times on offense, I could see 2 or 3 quarterbacks taking the snap. I could see on occasion one of the Florida running backs going wildcat and trying to mix it up a little bit. I could see Warner throwing a couple of swing passes to the right, swing passes to the left, button hook. But the problem is the field gets shrunk when the defense knows you're not threatening us. And, man, you better be on the money with everything.
Yeah.
And too many hats in the box, too, on defense. Too many hats in the box on defense. Hard to run. Even though Florida was blocking the hell out of Georgia in the second half on the run.
Yeah, and initially, it's just it quite literally is night and day when you have a guy like DJ Lagway who's got the dynamic abilities he's got, not only with his legs but also with his arm throwing it deep. Then you take him out and you put a guy like Warner in it. Everything you're saying is true, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be an impossible task. I don't think the Texas defense are world beaters. I think they could potentially move the football against that team.
But you look at this Florida offense. The last thing you want to do with Texas, LSU, or certainly Ole Miss, is get in a track meet with them. You're not going to get in a track meet with
when Ole Miss
or Clay Millen or whoever the quarterbacks are.
No, definitely not. And when Ole Miss comes to town, if Lane Kiffin can put 100 on the scoreboard, he will try. He will do it. He's not going to stop. The gas is not coming off.
It's funny you mentioned Lane Kiffin coming to town in a few weeks. You also wonder if this letter to Gator Nation didn't have a little bit of that on it, because the last thing you want is Lane Kiffin to roll into your stadium and there's a bunch of buzz around, are the Gators going to fire their coach? And
you can't have that.
Isn't he the guy they want to hire? That letter now, again, I want to back up. Florida may have been just told no by Kiffin and his agent, but I like what Florida did. They're trying to head that off. That would be brutal in 2 weeks if the entire stadium is buzzing. And what if Ole Miss starts to put 21, 28, 35, 42, 49 on the board like they did in the swamp? I mean, I would rather have that letter out than the Monday afterward. You go, oh, yeah, that means you couldn't get this guy, but we should have got that guy.
Yeah, I mean, it feels to me like Ole Miss has head and shoulders the best offense in the SEC. So, I mean, they got a really good chance to just score at will against them when it happens. So, yeah, it's good to get out ahead of them.
Zach, you've been around. I mean, Arkansas is the only team to beat Tennessee this year.
Yeah.
Florida didn't beat Tennessee. Alabama didn't beat Tennessee. Georgia gets to play them. Arkansas is pretty damn good. Lane Kiffin, Arkansas had a really good year, actually. They're a game away from bowl eligibility.
Oh, yeah.
And their coach thought he was going to be fired. Arkansas is pretty good. Lane Kiffin put 63, and you know why he stopped at 63 on Arkansas? The game ended.
Oh, well, yeah.
The freaking game ended. I mean, but I will say this. The word is, historically, Lane Kiffin has always wanted the Florida job. He's just covered it. He's spent a lot of time in the state of Florida. But
that is a rumor I've heard.
Things have to time out right. And with the Florida – now, I will say this. I know we're coming up on a break. There is nothing in the world that says that letter that just got released from Scott Strickland that's trying to quell Gator Nation. There's nothing in the world that says that has to be the end-all, be-all. You can't deviate. If 3 weeks from now, if championship Saturday, let's say Ole Miss doesn't make it to the SEC championship game, they're probably not then going to get into the playoff. There's nothing that says Monday, December 11th, that Florida couldn't say, we're announcing we just hired Lane Kiffin, right? There's nothing. This doesn't mean it's the end-all, be-all, but I see why Florida.
It feels like the way that would work would be that would also be the end of Scott Strickland, because his name specifically was at the bottom of the letter as athletic director, as if it came directly from him. So that would be the time when they let Scott Strickland and him go.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Would you sacrifice some guy named Scott Strickland for a guy named Lane Kiffin? Hell yeah, I would sacrifice.
I think most people in Gator Nation would be okay with that.
We're going to hire you. Who would you?
Most people in Gator Nation would take it. Yeah,
we're gonna hire you. We're gonna hire you, Lane. Who would you like to be the athletic director? That's the answer to that.
Yeah, right? Probably. That's probably more or less how that goes down.
Lane, does your brother-in-law, is he doing anything? Would he like to be the athletic director of Florida? Right?
I mean, yeah, he'd probably. He built a name as whatever, but I think. It just looks like they're sticking with Billy though. That's just the way it's going to be.
It does seem like that. Let's stay here a couple more minutes. We'll take it to the top of the hour. We don't get political here very often, and we should not. I want to be the first to say, I hope that we all use sports as a escape. The real world, and I'll throw politics, are in the real world. We do a job here. I think Patrick and I have the same philosophy. I don't want to talk politics here. I think people that watch our show, listen to our show, I think they want to get away from that. If you want it, you know where to get it, the politic world. With that said, I want to bring up one area, and we're at the top of the hour here in a few minutes. And Zach, I'd like to get your opinion. I do think we just had, obviously, our most recent national election. Donald Trump is now will now serve his second term. He will get in office January 20th, so he's got 4 years. I will say this. From a sports standpoint, and again, we're not going to get into politics deep at all. We don't want to. That's not what this is about. This should be an escape from real world. I will say this, though. I think the biggest effect that the new upcoming Trump presidency will have on the world of sports is the biological gender sports participation. I think that, and that is a hot button, as you know.
Yeah.
Biological men, boys, males playing female sports. And that's a very, very hot button. And it's in our stratosphere of sports talk. Donald Trump, our soon-to-be new president for 4 years, he's totally against that. He thinks biological gender should determine where you play your sports. If you're biological male, you should play for male teams. If you're biological female, right? I think that's the one big thing, and I don't know if it'll last forever, but the next 4 years, I can see Donald Trump, his approach is, if you're born a male, you should play sports, and you should not play against your biological gender. I do think that's one big thing. I just wanted to throw that out. I don't know if that's worth talking about. I think that's the one big sports thing that the new presidency will bring. I don't know if you have any thoughts, Zach, and I don't want to put you on the spot.
Oh, no, you're good. I mostly agree that, the women should play with women and the guys should play with guys. I will say that I think it's that one commercial that they ran during political season where it showed the 40-year-old guy playing basketball with the middle school girls. I felt like I was in an episode of South Park, or potentially the game Grand Theft Auto or something, watching their TV. I feel like that was the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life, and that was a real dead serious ad. Oh my God, I saw it every time they went to break during the Jaguars games. Yeah, I don't. I'm mostly just glad that the whole political campaign is over.
We got Patrick on. I know he wants to.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Pat,
100%.
go ahead. What you got?
Well, I need a second.
Go ahead, Pat. And again, Pat, I think you heard me prefacing. We're not going to get deep into politics, but I do think this is one major sports effect of the presidency for Trump, that he is big on biological gender dictates where you play your sports, male or female. I think that for the next 4 years
Zach
is going to work itself out.
There we go.
Hey, Pat, how you doing?
Zach muted me.
Come on, Zach.
I don't think I'd.
Come on,
my
Zach.
bad. My bad. You're good.
It's all good. Yeah, no, man. I was listening to something the other day. Like, maybe there is a place. Like, we can't act as though, there's still going to be people that are going to identify with different gender. Like, it's not a thing that's going to go away. And honestly, in our great country, it's a great expression that we can allow people to make such decisions and still, if they're not harming anybody, there's still fairness. We're a great country that we can allow people to do that. And for the most part, like, whatever. But like absolutely. When it comes to sports, the number one thing that, whether it's gambling, like you don't want the sport to ever have a question about fairness.
Sure.
Ever. Like, we would never put a 10-year-old team against, the Florida Gators basketball team. That would just make no sense. Sure. And, I have a daughter. You have a daughter, Terry. We talked about it. Like, how heartbreaking would it be, no matter, like, to watch our daughters work their asses off, to be there with them their entire life, whatever their perspective, come to a sport, a physical thing. And knowing that, there's a chance somebody that's a biological male may take her spot, her opportunity. If she gets beat by another girl, dang, hats off to her. But to someone that she genetically doesn't have any chance, heartbreaking, right?
And you brought up your daughter, my daughter, who was a pretty competitive cheerleader. My daughter through junior high and cheer camps and high school. She cheered at Orange Park. Some people may say, well, Terry, what about boys on the cheerleading squad? Well, I'm fine with that, because the Orange Park cheerleading squad, if they had a couple guys on the squad with my daughter, they are enhancing. Right. They're not competing against the other team,
right,
on the other sideline. No. They're just enhancing. But no, I think this is probably the one big area. And again, we're not going to do a lot of political talk, but President Trump is big on biological gender is where you're supposed to play your sports. I think that's going to work itself out on and lean toward that opinion for at least the next 4 years. I think the Riley Gaineses, who the Kentucky athlete.
Yeah, Riley Gaines, Sage Steele.
Yeah,
what's her name?
I think they're going to be. I think Coach
Jillian Michaels.
Yeah, Jillian Michaels. But
yes,
I do think sports is going to lean toward biological is where you're supposed to play your biological sex, at least for the next 4 years. And obviously, Trump has 4 years, but no more. And it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. It's not the most important.
But then they'll say, we've had female kickers.
Sure.
In playing, crossing over in certain areas. But I don't think, when it comes to player safety, like my counter argument, all right, then, let's let the lacrosse girls, when they play, they have the same rules as the boys then. Yeah. Because in men's and women's lacrosse are different. They can't, women, I bet some of the girls wish they could, they can't hit each other the way that men do.
Sure.
In the sport. Sure. Like it's not just a one thing. All right, if we're going to just loosen it, then we need to change this and change that and change. And that's, and I was talking to a friend of mine the other day, and we do need to have space for things to grow in this country. You can't force your views on everybody. It might take a while for people to accept what is new and changed. And I think, not to talk about the election, but I think some of the things maybe Kamala and her side were pushing to a place, but I just don't think our country's ready yet.
Yeah.
Like, it took a while, and look, women couldn't vote, minorities couldn't vote. Yeah. You couldn't do this for a while. There was a lot of change, and it took time. And but they are, last thing I'll say, there are some things we cannot compromise on.
Yeah, interesting. And
cannot.
The reason I bring this up, I think that's the main sports issue that will be affected by the Trump presidency. I think he's going to really crack down on you play in your born biological sex. You play on that field or the other field. Now, I'm not saying that Trump won't. Go ahead, Patrick.
You brought something by you saying that, another sports related thing that I'm curious where, I think because Donald Trump is very business priority kind of forward. Will he ensure or make it happen faster that revenue sharing is going to happen when it's supposed to? Will he be
I was going to go there.
A hand in pushing that through?
Yeah, I was going to go there, Pat. That's a great angle. Now, I'm not saying he won't get into revenue sharing, NIL, portal, but I don't necessarily want my president putting a lot of time into this, but I could see him.
No,
I could see him.
It's not a priority.
Into the portal, which needs Congress and the revenue sharing and all. But yeah, I think the main thing that will come out sports wise is why I'm bringing it up from the new presidential regime will be, I think Trump will fight hard and use whatever he can use to say, hey, sports comes down to what were you born genetically, biologically, what gender, that's what you need to play your sports. And again, 4 years from now, the next president may decide to totally take the executive pen and change that. But I think that's where it's going. I think that's where it's going with the new regime.
Cannot change it if it's written in the law, but I don't think you're going to get enough. I don't know if that's ever going to get written in the law.
Interesting. All right, Pat, let's take a break. 1 down, 1 to go. It's a Thursday. Beautiful. Gosh darn. This is why we live in Florida, for God's sakes. Don't tell anybody.
It's humid in Gainesville.
I want us to fake the weather reports and say it's snowing down here in Jacksonville, Neptune Beach. It's snowing and it's 12 degrees right now in Neptune Beach. Let's tell everybody that, okay, Pat? Cool.
I'll say yes because you're wearing a good shirt. You got a good shirt on, so I'll say yes.
Look at my PY Foundation shirt. How about that? Because, Patrick.
How about it?
I'm in a T-shirt and shorts on November 7th in Neptune Beach, Florida. Take that, you bunch of Yankees. Take that. Let's take a break. 1 down, 1 to go. The Young and Norvelle Show continues after this quick timeout from Sliders Oyster Bar.
For those dealing with pain from a sports injury, arthritis, or spine condition, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists offers innovative new non-surgical options. Our regenerative medicine treatments, including platelet-rich plasma and other regenerative treatments, use your body's own restorative cells to aid in treating injuries. These procedures are performed in our offices and typically require minimal downtime. If you want to get back to doing what you love, our regenerative treatment options may be right for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
Since 1936, Procter Ace has been proudly helping Jacks with all your home and garden projects. Whether you need tools, paint, plumbing supplies, or expert advice, we've got what you need to get the job done right. Looking to brighten your yard? Visit our garden center for plants, tools, and everything to make your outdoor space flourish. You're not just shopping here, you're part of our community. So come in today and let us help you tackle your next project with a smile. After all,
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
When I say it means something to me, gentlemen, it means something to me.
High school football is back and it's bigger than ever. Welcome to the Friday Night Zone Blitz.
It is bigger than a game.
Watch the biggest games each week live as the action unfolds with instant reaction and analysis from our Hall of Famer, Kevin Sullivan. It starts with live look-ins at the top matchups, including our Jaguars Prep Whataburger Game of the Week, and that is just the beginning of 4 straight hours of coverage. From 8 to 10:30, the Friday Night Zone Blitz is streaming on our Action News Jax app and online. At 10:30, the Friday Night Blitz you know and love. A half hour of highlights from around the area. 11 o'clock, we shine the spotlight on the bands that pump up the crowd. 11:15, it's time to blitz through the highlights online and on air. Then 11:35, back to the stream to break down the night's results with a reaction from local coaches. 4 straight hours of high school football on the Friday Night Zone Blitz. Only on Action Sports Jax 24/7.
Baker Sports is local sports. Uniforms from Pop Warner and Little League to travel ball, high school, and college. They make you look good. They help you play good. Baker Sports has been helping families make memories that will last a lifetime with their Baker's Buckets. We've got a lot of these filled with baseballs and softballs in the garage. I've been throwing batting practice to Ty and Kaylee for years, and also sit on the Baker's Bucket, catching Kaylee while she practices her pitching. Baker Sports is homegrown, and a lot of employees that used to play on local ball fields now work for Baker Sports, now helping you look good, play good, and make memories of your own. Visit Bakersport.com to see what Baker Sports can do for you. Custom apparel, Nike, Under Armour, Adidas, embroidery, screen printing, and more. Baker Sports is local sports from Jacksonville to anywhere in the Southeast. Bakersport.com.
All right, here we go. Kicking off the second half, a Thursday edition. You know where we're at. Patio at Sliders Oyster Bar. Patrick Young's been in and out with us. We hope Pat's still with us. We'll dial him back up, but we've got some second hour topics to get into. We'll carry over. Obviously, the big news is the Scott Strickland, Florida Athletic Director, letter to Gator Nation basically announcing that Billy Napier's his guy. He's coming back next year. Very awkward situation. That never happens. Doesn't happen very often at all. You don't make a press release and send it out and say, we are keeping our coach. You send out a press release that says we're getting rid of our coach. Well, that tells you a lot of things. We broke it down ad nauseum in hour number 1, every paragraph. But there are some messages inside the letter. Basically, number 1, you could glean that maybe Florida got turned down. I mean, there's back channels going on. You don't just hire a guy December 1st and call him on November 31st, right? There's talk already. If you think you're in the coaching hiring mode, number 1, my thought is Florida may have been turned down, and I think their big whale was Lane Kiffin. He may have said no. He may have said not right now. He may have said, I can't give you an answer right now. And Florida may have said, well, we need an answer. We can't just wait until the end of the championship Saturday, Sunday, and you then turn us down. So a lot of ways this thing could go and could be construed. But I do guarantee you, as I'm reading that letter, there are messages inside. And I don't know if it was paragraph 2 or 3. We won't go back through the entire letter. And Zach, let me know if we got back on. I'd like to know if he's read the letter. But excuse me. But at one point, one of the paragraphs, it was blatantly obvious, I think, that it didn't say this by the grammar, but you could read between the lines. Billy Napier's coming back next year, but he has to. And there's the letter. He basically must change his coaching structure. And a lot of it, I think, has to do with him. I think it is blatantly clear as you read this letter that, and let me see if I can find what paragraph it is. It is blatantly clear that Florida has told Billy Napier, you got to go out and hire an offensive coordinator. You've got to take some stuff off of your plate. It would be moronic. It would be idiotic for Florida to go into next season and just hope Billy's going to figure it out. Billy Napier has been a Power 4, Power 5 head coach for like 9 years now. This is like he was at Louisiana 3 or 4. And he's at Florida now, his third, wrapping up third. It would be blatant, it would be terrible for Florida to think, just keep it going, Billy. Patrick, I don't know. I don't want to put you on the spot. I don't know if you've seen the letter that was sent out today by UF football, Scott Strickland, supporting Billy Napier. Have you had a chance to see it or hear about it?
Yeah, I've seen it. I didn't read the after I read, them talking about the first paragraph. I didn't really read after that. I probably should have.
Thoughts on it? I mean, it's awkward. It normally doesn't happen to.
It's a little awkward, but I mean, he shuts down speculation.
Yeah.
Just like that. People like he's saying that his seat might be warm, but it's not hot.
Yeah.
He's he's gonna get another chance.
There's a lot of things you could.
And we can keep DJ Lagway and make some improvements, man.
Yeah. I don't necessarily know if it's the smartest thing to ever do to have one player hold an organization hostage. I don't know if I totally agree with that, but I will say this. You could construe this letter being released. You could say, Patrick, well, Florida may have reached out and been turned down by the Lane Kiffins of the world. I don't know. I'm just throwing that out. And you also, Patrick, paragraph number 2 says, promises of greater success next season. To me, that is telling him, hey, my man, next year, 7 wins ain't going to do it, my man. We're going to need 9 or 10 wins out of you. And go ahead, Pat.
Well, we got to get to 7 wins. We got to see 7 wins first before we even say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I think the most interesting paragraph in the entire letter is paragraph 4, and I will kind of paraphrase it, but it says, and this is the Florida football program, Scott Strickland, we will work alongside him, Billy Napier, to support any changes needed to elevate Gator football. That's the one that gets me. To me, if you read between the lines, Patrick Young, if you read between the lines, that is saying Billy's coming back. He knows we've told him there's got to be some changes. You've got to bring an offensive coordinator. And, Billy, you need to be more of a CEO head coach game day than running every aspect of the offense because you aren't good at that with that many responsibilities in a 30-second time frame before the next play is called.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the way I read it. And
that's the way
maybe that's
and he's probably still knows, and they'll have a special teams coach as well.
You think? Hey,
I'm certain they'll have a special teams coach next year.
You got to get a special. Now, if they had a special teams coach all year, this past Saturday, would the snap have been back to Underwood? Would it have not hit the ground? I don't know. But you've had so many special team blunders. The fact that snap was bad, everybody's going to point to that and say, hey, if you had a special teams coach, maybe you don't miss those 3 points, and maybe you win the game, Patrick. Maybe you win the game.
Yeah. Absolutely. No, I agree with you.
Yeah. And the other thing is, Billy Napier, he doesn't have the panache or the resume right now to continue to do things so unorthodox. And what I say about unorthodox, Patrick Young, they've been playing college football for about 170 years now. Yet Billy Napier has several instances, particularly on his coaching staff and his structure, he has several instances that he does stuff that nobody in the 170 years of football have done. Nobody has not had a real special teams coach or 2 offensive line coaches and on and on and on. I mean, Billy, if you're UF and if you're Scott Strickland, Billy, you've got to get a little more conventional. And, I mean, your record doesn't dictate, hey, if you've got a great record and you're running this crazy thing called the triple option wishbone, well, that's fine. But if you're running something, and I'm just using this as an example, if you're running something that nobody's seen, the triple option wishbone, if you're getting beat consistently, well, then you probably don't want to run the triple option wishbone, right? I mean, right? I don't know, Patrick.
That makes yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, I just wonder, like, he seems like a humble enough guy that he'll, you know, he accept those changes reluctantly, but
yeah,
but you know, if he was coming from a program that, you know, I don't know what Louisiana Tech's record was, but like Louisiana Tech, say 11-win season, and they have, like you said, some kind of special offense or something.
He didn't win SEC games in Louisiana.
No. Yeah, it's like 11, and then you'd be like, all right, you know, yeah, maybe we can give that. Will that work here at the university? Come on, get around him. Will that work here at the university? Let's give it a try. And if it doesn't work, you know, then you switch over. But you know, like you said, we know it, man. Coaches fire themselves because they rather lose their way than to win somebody else's.
I mean, you're probably sitting around, and do you like getting it? And I'm assuming he got called to the principal's office. You know, I would assume he and Strickland and maybe the president have had a few, you know, sit down in an office. If you're Billy Napier, hopefully you're smart enough to go, okay, they're asking me to change some of my basic philosophy of coaching. Okay, well, I don't exactly have the resume to say, hey, College World, I'm a free agent. Come get me. I don't think anybody's gonna tackle him to be their next head coach right now. Now, with that said, he's also making $8 to $9 million. So, Patrick, if you want to keep paying me $8 to $9 million and you think I need to restructure my staff and quit calling plays, I'm fine with that. You know, every coach is not, though, I don't think. You know, but I'm fine with that if I'm Billy Napier.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I just feel the stubbornness in there, man. Of like,
I agree.
I don't know. I just feel it. I can't let go of just the assumption that they're all just going to be stubborn.
All right, Pat. As we come up on the break here, 4 or 5 minutes away, just because I care, and you're a friend of mine, I know sometimes Friday nights can be tough on a single guy like you that maybe is not, you know, you're maybe not the best looking guy, and you know, I mean, you're not handsome like me, and you got, you know. So anyway, I want to help you out, Pat. If you can't find a date on Friday night, which is tomorrow, I've got a date for you. You excited? You want to hear about it?
I'm not listening to Beth Mowens. I'm not. I will not.
How did you know I was going to give you a Friday night date with the Beth? Beth Mowens
Pat saw
on the
that
call
from a mile away.
How did you know?
I felt it deep inside my heart.
Patrick, I think you should swing in. And it's a 9:00 game tomorrow night. Rice versus Memphis. The great Beth Mowens on the call. Patrick, I think you should swing in and get you a little pizza about 8:30 in Big Blue. Head on home, you know, get settled, and you and Beth spend the next about 3.5 hours together. Patrick,
I'll find a date. I will find a date for tomorrow night.
He's back, baby. Hey, the Beth is back, baby. Got her game Friday night. You ready? You ready for that?
Born ready.
Rice versus SMU. How far has SMU fallen after they lost last week, man? They're out of the race, and they got Beth coming to the they got the Beth coming. Hey, Zach, what do you think about that? The Beth is back, baby.
What did Beth Mowens do to you to make you hate her so much? I don't understand.
I don't hate her. I think she's a great broadcaster.
Open her mouth. Open her mouth. That's exactly what.
It's the pitch. It's the voice. It's the pitch. Oh, my God. Zach, have you ever heard?
Oh, I can't change my voice. I can't change my voice.
I wasn't going to watch Rice versus SMU, but now I'm very intrigued. Just like how people tune in to watch Tom Brady, I'm going to tune in to listen to the great Beth Mowens 100%.
I'm sorry, Terry. I just can't change my voice.
I got to bring balance to the force.
I don't know how I got here, but I am here on the call.
I'll be here on the call.
Hey, how about hey, Patrick? How about my boy Zach Rothrock and his beautiful wife? They were at the basketball game, and Zach kind of knows what he's talking about. He was talking some basketball in my ear you were on my right. Zach was talking some basketball on my left.
Yeah, because Zach's better than you. Duh.
He was breaking it down, Patrick.
There you go. We were very impressed by how much of a local celebrity Patrick is, and how many people were coming up to talk to you every 30 seconds.
I was surprised. That's why I kind of liked the spot we were at, because I thought nobody would bother me, and I was wrong.
Hey, I love what you.
I was very wrong about that.
We had tons of space. We had a bathroom right behind us. That was a lot better than sitting on press row. I love where you put us, Pat.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that would have been better than that.
Yeah. The view is the best. You can see the
Pat,
whole court.
What happens? We're up against the break, but Pat, what happens when a team? And I know you weren't a 3-point shooter. You were a big power forward and down low. What happens when a team, particularly game one, Florida went 5 for 25? They're a much better shooting team than that. You know it. I know it. They're gonna do you? If you're Todd Golden, do you just say, "Hey guys, we're gonna bury the tape"? It's a weird arena. We don't don't play there very often. What do you do when your team's 5 for 25?
No, I think you highlight, like, if they were like good threes that they were taking, some of them were awful.
Yeah.
Like, do you look at this shot and think, like, really think it's going in, or like, is this a good rep? Because you can't get mad at your teammate for missing a shot, but you can get mad at him for taking one that's like, why? Like, we could have got something better than that. So I think you do that. Will is the only guy. Y'all always look to get that third shot. Like, you kidding me?
I'll follow up with you, Pat.
Yeah.
Watching the game, I'm going to follow up what you just said. Yeah. The only guy I thought that was pressing and he just missed, I thought Martin, and keep in mind, this is his first game as a Gator. He's an established player. He played in the Final Four a couple years ago. He was a leading scorer in the Final Four in a game. I thought he pressed. The other guys, Clayton and Richard and some of the big guys that took threes and Aberdeen, I just think those shots just didn't go in. I think this Florida team is going to be a good shooting team, and I don't know if we still have Pat with us. But no, I think their 5 for 25 3-point shooting is going to be a real misnomer. What do you think, Pat? I think this team will shoot real well.
Am I back?
Yeah, you're back. I think this team will shoot well.
And hear you.
We're back. Pat, can you hear us? Hey, Pat, I was saying I think this team will end up shooting. I think Martin pressed a little bit his first game as a Gator, but I think Will Richard and Clayton, those shots just didn't fall. They will be good shooting, a good shooting team when it's all said and done. I think.
Yeah, I mean, they can't shoot much worse than they did. I don't think that Patrick can hear us. But yeah, Patrick was right. It really was. It was their shot selection. They had.
I hear you, Zach. I can't hear Terry.
You don't hear Terry?
Yeah,
I don't understand how that works.
And Zach, if you get forward to Pat, he kept telling me on my right shoulder, he goes,
I don't understand how this works either.
They've got to get the ball.
I'm just going to log out.
In the paint.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll let Pat hook up. Zach, let's go ahead and take a break. We'll take our 5:20 break here on a Thursday edition of the Young and Norvelle Show. Come back, start wrapping up the show. We'll review a couple of things, and then we'll go over a couple of other things, including, Zach, I don't know if you heard this story. You know the whiskey shot Fireball?
Well, I'm aware. Oh, I'm quite aware from my days in college, actually.
There's a new whiskey coming in town. It may be saying, hey, Fireball, hold my beer. And you got to be a pretty big boy to tell Fireball to hold your beer, don't you?
Yeah. Is it for Gator fans?
It's in general. We'll talk about it as we come back. We're in the second hour. It's a Thursday edition live from the patio at Sliders Oyster Bar. Great place to be today, tonight, tomorrow, all weekend. Fun place. Weather is perfect this time of year for the patio and the outdoor deck at Sliders Oyster Bar.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Rick's Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Rick's Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Rick's Jack's Beach.
For over 20 years, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists has been providing the highest level of orthopedic and spine care to patients throughout Northeast Florida. Now, we're making that same great care even more convenient with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists Direct, a walk-in clinic where you can be seen for pain or injuries with no appointment needed. Staffed by orthopedic physicians and specialists, we offer everything from diagnosis and treatment to imaging and bracing, all with no appointment needed. For more information, hours, and locations, visit our website.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dynamic Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jacks to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jacks in your app store either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jacks 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms, whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV. You can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry, we still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jacks 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
Summertime means sizzling sales at Nimnick Buick GMC. The #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville has lots of inventory to choose from with their best price guarantee. Nimnick never charges above MSRP. You can save up to $10,000 off select new GMC Sierras or get rates as low as 1.9%.
You know, I'm a truck guy. GMC Sierra, my trim level is an SLT. This one's an Elevation. Pretty good looking color as well. So here at Nimnick Buick GMC, you have a lot to pick from. My father-in-law, he drives this, an Enclave, so I like that GMC in the family. 2025 is coming around the corner, which means it's almost time to close out those 2024s this summer.
You can schedule a test drive at NimnickBuickGMC.com. And while you're there, check your trade value and customize your payment options. Nimnick is there for you, even on Sundays. Visit the showroom on Phillips Highway or shop online at NimnickBuickGMC.com. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941. GMC, we are professional grade.
Dynamite!
That good looking shot. Zach, where the heck is that? The fairgrounds? Yeah, the fair's in town.
I guess so. I'll be honest. I just hit the button and the picture came up. I have no idea what that is.
The fair's in town. Yeah, that's down there by the stadium.
Yeah.
What is your favorite fair food?
Nothing.
I know, right?
Skip it. Nothing.
What? Hold up. What about deep fried Oreos?
I've never had one.
Ooh, your life will change.
Nice. Nice. That is the fair, obviously.
I wonder how many calories a deep fried Oreo is.
Too
many. God. Oh, my God. Who
decided one cookie has to be like 400, 500 calories.
Yeah, probably 800.
Hey, who decided, hey, I got an idea. Let's drop an Oreo in some deep fried grease.
Somebody from the deep south, and they were right. It is the most fantastic thing I've ever had.
Hey, I may be speaking out of turn here, but I think that might be the last fair at the fairgrounds down by the stadium. They're moving that to the Equestrian Center, right? On the west side, I think. The fairgrounds are moving.
I'd imagine they got to move it somewhere during construction, yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah, and that was a bad idea. In my opinion, that was a bad idea putting the fairgrounds down there. It hosts other events, but it's dark too much out of the year, and it takes up too much space, premium space right there by the arena and the stadium.
Mm-hmm.
Right back.
And Daly's place.
And Daly's. But I think this might be the last year because they're moving the fairgrounds, I do believe, to the west side, out by the Equestrian Center, out by the old Cecil Field. Pat, you ever been to the west side? I don't know if you're tough enough to go there. You ever been to the west side?
I drove past that ugly Ed White Commander Stadium the other day. Does that count?
Mouth right now.
Does that count?
We'll get a hold of those. Hey, Providence wasn't even a school when I was at Ed White. They were so scared. They weren't even around, I don't think. Providence, Stallions.
And now they're here. Everybody's afraid of them now that they're here.
Hey,
except Trinity. Trinity, they'll never beat Trinity in football. They will never beat Trinity in football.
Oh, we're a big horse. Look at us. We're a big horse. What kind of a stallion? What is that? Hey, my team in the NFL, the Washington Commanders, we're going places, my man. We're going places.
Your team? Since you what?
Ed White Commanders,
your team?
Washington Commanders. You shut your filthy mouth.
Is that where your new fan affiliation? You applied and they accepted you?
If they keep winning, they're Commanders. We were Commanders. Commanders stick together, pal. Okay, the Commanders stick together. All right.
Did you send your resignation letter into the Jaguars?
Why?
What if they get beat by the Pittsburgh Steelers on Sunday at 1:00 p.m. on Fox?
You shut your mouth. You two are talking.
What a great pickup for what a great happenstance for Mike White or Mike Williams. He's get traded to the.
Yeah, he'll be involved. He'll be involved in the offense.
Oh yeah, he'll be involved.
Speaking of trades and speaking of organizations that really know what they're doing, and we've talked all season about this. How about Kansas City, man? They go out and get Hopkins, right? And I mean, it looks like they got a 22-year-old Hopkins. I mean, he's been reborn.
Yeah, that man. He went and got that money. He went and got that money going to Tennessee. His time was well spent in Arizona, and now he's with the quarterback that is going to get him the ball. Yeah. Like when you actually, it's got to be so mental for receivers because how many, your prime is not a long window, in that you have a lot of great routes and and it's not about just how great I am. I literally, you get the ball in my hands, I guarantee you we're going to win this game, or I'm going to catch it. And, that, and that safety blanket for the quarterback, goodness.
I tell you, Hopkins, he looks reborn. He looks reborn with Kansas City right now. Man, he was tough the other night. Hey, have you guys heard about, you guys know about the whiskey Fireball, right? Take a shot at Fireball. You've heard of Fireball.
Oh, yeah.
Zach, you've had a few Fireball.
Have you taken a shot at Fireball ever, Terry, in your life?
I'm not a big shot guy, and that Fireball just scares me, man. How about you, Pat? Have you ever taken a shot?
Oh, I've tried it. Yeah, I've had it. I would. It burns. Oh, it burns.
Okay.
Yeah.
Zach,
two shots. Two shots. The game going.
Yeah.
Zach, what's your Fireball history?
Yeah. Well, when you're at the bar and you're, it's the most lady friendly shot. Like when you're trying to buy shots, like a group of people, including some ladies, it typically is like Fireball is the good go to. Like without having to ask everybody what they want, Fireball is a good go to. In general, yeah.
Yeah, that means get them drunk, Patrick's what he's trying to say.
Hey, I'm trying to remember.
There's no malicious intent here. They wanted the alcohol.
Green tea shots. Kamikaze lemon drops.
Hey, that song.
Lemon drops. Those are friendly. I don't know what's in there.
That Fireball song, is that from that whiskey Fireball? That song? Is that?
I'm not familiar with this song.
Oh, geez. You guys are so. Okay, here we go. Have y'all heard the new thing coming out? There's a new whiskey, and they're calling it, hold on, let me get my old man glasses on. A salty liquid whiskey, okay? It's called Crierball, okay? And here's the deal, and this sounds disgusting. Y'all look it up. They're going to go around to selected football games, stadiums this year, and they have it sanitized in a real medical way. The theory is they want to get tears, actual tears from fans that cry. They're gonna catch the tears in some medically sanitized way. They're gonna send them back, and it's gonna take a process to totally sanitize it, right? And the theory is they're making salty liquid whiskey called Crierball, and it's going to come out next year. Now, get a load, and I'm being dead serious. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stadiums. They're going to do this. They're going to send around these Crierball tear catchers, and they're very sanitized, right? And here's the deal. And I'm not kidding. You guys look it up. November 10th, Philadelphia at Dallas. That's going to be one game.
A lot of tears.
They're going to go get tears. November 17th, Green Bay at Chicago Bears, a black and blue division. There's a lot of crying in that division.
There could be.
They're also going to be at the November 17th Baltimore Ravens Pittsburgh Steelers game.
Oh, man.
Right? They're going to have Crierball medical people going in the stands or going around the parking lot and all. After the game, the losing team, they're going to try and get tear samples. I'm telling you, this is legit.
If that's actually real,
and
the
then,
people.
Hold on.
Okay.
2 more.
Yeah.
Those first 3 were NFL games. The last 2 are November 30th of this year coming up. They're going to have Crierball medical people collecting tears at Auburn, Alabama.
Makes sense.
November 30th. There'll be a lot of tears there for one of those teams.
Mm-hmm.
And Michigan, Ohio State. So they're going to Columbus.
Ooh, yeah, the 2. I gotcha.
Pittsburgh, Chicago, and Dallas. And, Zach, I'm not kidding. It sounds gross. But they're
I mean, there's no way that's like actually real, yeah. They're not actually going to collect like real tears.
If you look it up. They tell you, look it up, okay? And they'll tell you how they're going to get the samples and supposedly take the samples, send them back. It'll take a couple months to process, make them sanitized. And then next year they're coming out with Crierball, not Fireball, whiskey shots, salty, liquid whiskey. Don't kill the messenger, Pat.
Yeah, I just feel like if you go up to a Philadelphia Eagles fan and attempt to collect their tears, you're going to get physical harm brought down upon you. I don't know how they're going to do this. Yeah.
Hey, buddy! I know your team lost. It looks like you're crying. Can I get a swab of your tears?
Yeah. There's no.
Yeah. Hey,
I want to see video evidence of this.
Listen to me, and I want you, Zach, and I want everybody watching. You heard it here first. We're breaking.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to hear about Crierball, okay? And you're going to say, "Hey, that little idiot Terry was telling us about that." I'm telling you, it's a real thing.
I'm keeping it locked in my memory bank.
Next football season. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I do see that, and I do see the dates that you listed.
Do you see it?
I do. I want to see undoctored footage of them collecting tears from a Cowboy or Eagles
fan. Hold on, let me see if I can. Hold on, Zach. Let me do some quick on the fly here. See if I can find the story. I'm not kidding.
I see an article on food. It's called foodandwine.com is the source that I'm seeing for this.
Hold on. Here we go.
The prestigious website, foodandwine.com.
Partners with the New York Jets, resulting in ultra blah, blah, blah. Okay, here it is. I'm just going to read some stuff. You ready, Zach?
Yeah.
We're coming up on a break, and this will help us in the show. But Fireball wants to make whiskey using real human tears. Okay, that's the story. Okay, and it is in that magazine you said. What is it called?
Foodandwine.com is what I see.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. Okay, Stacy wrote the article. Okay, so here we go. Let me get down here. Football season is full swing for some fans. It's been a great year for some. For others, sorry, Carolina Panthers, not so much. It's been a season of misery. Thanks. In fact, for certain fans, it's been a lousy season. All they can do is cry about it. And now Fireball Whiskey wants to turn those tears into something that at least tastes good with its new Crierball. Okay? And here we go.
Yeah.
Quote, this is not a joke, and this is one of the, hold on, I got a pop-up. This is not a joke. This revolutionary limited edition salty liquid whiskey is blending emotion with flavor for an unforgettable drinking experience, and fans can contribute their tears to this special batch. This brand shared in a statement provided to Food and Wine. Okay, you ready, Zach? You're still listening, right?
Yeah.
Okay. According to the company, the product is inspired by both football's biggest fans and crybabies. To make Crierball real, the brand says it's going to be on site at games across the nation to honor the biggest sports rivalries and to collect real tears of football fans if their team loses, or they could be happy tears. Okay, hold on. The brand has trained official Fireball tear collectors who will be fully outfitted in red hot gear that has a large Fireball tear collector. That guy's going to get his ass beat, by the way. but that's a
Yeah,
side
but
track.
there's no way. I do have one more.
So fans know who to supply their tiers in a safe and sanitary manner. It added, our tier collectors will be catching fans fluid during the month of oh boy, this is a bad.
So I do have one more question about this. So I noticed that the two college football games, they both take place on November the 30th, which also happens to be the same date as the Florida versus FSU game. So why not go to that game? Because then you could potentially collect tiers from both fan bases at the same game, whereas the other one is just going to be whoever loses that game. The Florida FSU, both fan bases are going to be crying heading into it. They could really triple.
Hey, Zach, just go to every single Jaguar game.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, you could load up there for sure.
I missed out on what's happening. I heard collection of tiers, fluid.
You got to pick it up then.
What?
Okay, you're too late. Okay, Zach, let me go ahead. Then the jars will be placed in storage and transported to the distillery facility. All watery eyes are welcome, and we know crying in public might give you stage fright, but rest assured our tier collectors have tools, menthol sticks, to help stimulate your tear glands safely if fans need it. It added. Then the tiers will go through a months-long sterilization and distillation process before ultimately becoming Crierball whiskey. Want your tiers to be part of this revolutionary drink? Here's where you can find the Crierball tier collectors, and it's the games I went over. Zach, do you think this is real?
I do not personally think that is real. I think that is a marketing ploy. There's no way they're going to do that. I want to see footage. I want to see GoPro footage of them going to a Cowboy fan and asking for their tiers.
Hey, Zach, you said it, man. Hey, one of the games is in Philadelphia at Dallas, Green Bay at Chicago, Baltimore at Pittsburgh, Auburn, Alabama, Michigan, Ohio State. Can you imagine dressed up in a red suit?
Yeah.
And you start asking, you're going to get your ass beat.
Yeah, if the Ravens beat the Steelers by 3 touchdowns and you went up to a drunk Steelers fan asking for their tiers after the game, you would get punched in the nose 100%. Yeah.
Oh, my God. Patrick Young, can this be real? It can't be real, can it?
This is unbelievable.
Hey, what are
this is awesome.
How much would they have to pay me, you, or Zach to put on a fire red outfit that says Crierball tier collector and go out in the crowd of Philadelphia fans, for God's sakes? Oh
my gosh, yeah.
You're going to get your ass handed to you.
You're literally that's worse than having a kick me sign on the back of your shirt. That's way worse. Oh my gosh.
How much would they have to pay you to do that, Patrick, Zach? I mean, how much would they? That's Johnny Knoxville stuff, isn't it? It's Johnny Knoxville.
If I could have a bodyguard, that'd be two bodyguards probably. That'd be, that would make me warm up to the idea.
I'm willing to get pretty wild. I'd do it for $100 an hour. Why not, man? I'll get punched. Yeah, what's the worst that could happen?
Zach, I'll pay you $100 to put that on and go to the Jaguar Stadium and just walk around.
Oh, I'll do it here for less. I'd be scared to do it at the Dallas and Eagles game. I'd do it here for far less. The Jaguar fans are far less passionate. That's tough,
Hey, Patrick, how about doing it up in Buffalo? The Buffalo fans.
So is the idea like your tears get turned, you're a rival that like I'm drinking the tears of my enemies type thing,
Yeah.
Is that the idea of it?
How about hey, Patrick Young, we need you to put this outfit on, go collect some tears inside the Raider Nation, the Raider football fans. Remember the Raider football fans?
Oh, my gosh.
Oh. Hey, imagine Florida, Georgia, that crowd we just saw, Patrick. Can you imagine you've got an Austin Powers-looking outfit on full of red? Oh, God. I'm collecting tears. The Florida, Georgia crowd. Can you imagine walking around that crowd?
Oh, man. No way.
That is an ass whipping.
People are too drunk.
And
you got a device or something to poke my eye to make me cry. Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
You heard it here first. I'm telling you, it's legit, and you heard it here first. All right, Pat and Zach. Let's take our final break here, wrapping it up on a busy. Boy, this place is packed. Sliders. People out enjoying this great weather. It is perfect. Inside, outside, everything's open. Great temperature, great atmosphere. We're down in Neptune Beach at Sliders Oyster Bar.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
For over 20 years, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists has been providing the highest level of orthopedic and spine care to patients throughout Northeast Florida. Now, we're making that same great care even more convenient with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists Direct, a walk-in clinic where you can be seen for pain or injuries with no appointment needed. Staffed by orthopedic physicians and specialists, we offer everything from diagnosis and treatment to imaging and bracing, all with no appointment needed. For more information, hours, and locations, visit our website.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dynamic Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jacks to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jacks in your app store either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jacks 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms, whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV. You can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry, we still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jacks 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
Summertime means sizzling sales at Nimnick Buick GMC. The #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville has lots of inventory to choose from with their best price guarantee. Nimnick never charges above MSRP. You can save up to $10,000 off select new GMC Sierras or get rates as low as 1.9%.
You know, I'm a truck guy. GMC Sierra, my trim level is an SLT. This one's an Elevation. Pretty good looking color as well. So here at Nimnick Buick GMC, you have a lot to pick from. My father-in-law, he drives this, an Enclave, so I feel like that GMC in the family. 2025 is coming around the corner, which means it's almost time to close out those 2024s this summer.
You can schedule a test drive at NimnickBuickGMC.com. And while you're there, check your trade value and customize your payment options. Nimnick is there for you, even on Sundays. Visit the showroom on Phillips Highway or shop online at NimnickBuickGMC.com. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941. GMC, we are professional grade.
All right, we're winding things down here. It's been a fun Thursday. It always is here at Sliders Oyster Bar, the best seafood, the freshest seafood. They feature Safe Harbor Seafood, which is right down. I'm telling you, Patrick Young, if he was any good at golf, because he shanks and he plays Army golf, left, right, left. But Patrick Young, a driver and about a 9-iron away, is the seafood coming right out of the ocean. From the ocean, Safe Harbor gets it right on your plate here. The best seafood you'll find in the world, I tell you, is at Sliders Oyster Bar, one of our great sponsors for a very, very long time. We appreciate these folks getting behind us here for a long, long time on the Young and Norvelle show. About 6.5 minutes left, and Zach, I think Pat's still with us. Pat, Zach wants to know.
Yes.
Zach wants to know. We normally do our picks on Friday, so make sure you get your 3 picks in. I'll get mine. Zach wants to know, can he do a Thursday night football pick? What do you think? Can he have one of his picks tonight if he tells us right now?
Yeah, he has to tell us right now.
Yeah. Throw me a bone here. I need some help. I feel like I got a decent take on this game, so I want to try to cash in on it.
Hold on a second. Write Zach down. Okay, your number 1 pick.
It's a big game.
Yeah,
what you got, Zach?
Yeah, I want to throw 15 points on this. Let's go just live or die with it. I'm going with the Cincinnati Bengals +6 on the road at Baltimore against the number 1 offense in the NFL. Am I crazy? Probably. But the Bengals are against the wall. They have to win this game. If the Bengals don't win this game, they're done. Their season is completely over, and I just don't anticipate their season being over this early.
I like it.
Joe Burrow was mad. Yeah, he was pissed off that he got 5 touchdowns against the Raiders. He didn't care about that game at all. He was already looking forward to the Ravens. I'm all in on it.
So you're taking Cincy, and they're getting how many? 6?
They're getting 6 at Baltimore.
You know, that's not a bad pick, Pat. I know we were talking earlier in the week about 3 or 4 of the big NFL games coming up this week, and that's one of them. Cincinnati, if they want to stay, they're 4-5, I think, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they started terrible, but they're carving their way. They're carving their way back in. If they want to stay in, be a legitimate contender for the playoffs, they got to win this game, don't they? I think they got to win this game.
They got to win it
100%.
And then it's a statement too to say like, not only we slipped up, but now we're elite to beat this Ravens team that's. They grabbed their pieces too during the trade deadline to make fortify their team as well.
You know what you and I could do to be just mean, and I'm borrowing this from I'm going to borrow this from I think Price is Right. We've all watched Price is Right? The way they bid and all. Hey Zach, hey Patrick, Zach's trying to catch up because he's at -45.
Yikes.
Patrick, you're at 50, and I'm at 100, I think, right? So Zach is way behind. Hey Patrick, if you and I picked the same game. He couldn't gain any ground on us with that game, right? Right?
Well, if you got it wrong, I could.
No, if we picked exactly like you, that's one of our picks.
Well,
I mean,
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you could do that every
game.
time anyway. No, you don't want to be on the same side as me. Good God.
Hey, but
I just want to watch the game. I don't.
Zach,
but yeah, you could.
Right, we could talk out there, right?
Yeah, I got to be real, Zach.
Yeah, you can block me out.
Bad run.
That's a fantasy football tactic. You could definitely block me out like that for sure.
Hey, Patrick, I think I just heard him say, Zach, you really need to go on a run. What did you say, Pat? You need to go on a run.
I do.
I said you've had a bad run.
Yeah, I have 100%.
He's had a bad. Zach, do you gamble real money because you're terrible at this?
Dude, last week I swear I did a 3-leg parlay on the Hard Rock app that hit, and I used all picks that I didn't say out loud on the show publicly. I have this theory that when I say a pick publicly, it gets cursed. But actually, you know what the Gators were on that? I took the Gators, Vanderbilt. Yeah, I took the Gators, Vanderbilt, and the Gamecocks, and all 3 of them hit on a parlay. Nice little parlay.
How much did you win?
I think that one I put in 5 and won back 30. I believe were the odds. So I think it was +6.
Oh, nice.
I'm rich.
That's how I feel, man. It was incredible. It was an incredible feeling. But no, I've never seen anything like it.
Hey, Pat, you're much smarter than Zach. I need your knowledge, okay? I need Pat's knowledge. 2 minutes left in the so, you know, I for the first time ever, I got on the Hard Rock bet, and I put $25 a couple weeks ago. My first 2 bets, I won. I got up to 33, so I got all crazy. And I bet the house and the Jack. I lost everything, right? I'm down to 0. Patrick Young, should I just stop or should I put a little more money on? Even 25 more?
Well, you see, Zach did safer, but like you got to do the parlays. The parlays give you the biggest payout, and you don't have to put as much on.
Yeah.
If you're not going to do that, then because then you can do 5. You can do $1, $2, $3, $5. Yeah.
How much did you put on your parlay, Zach?
That was for $5, so I won 30. It was plus $600. But I also, on the other side of that coin, I did another $5 when we were at that basketball game the other night, and I had the Gators, I had the Lady Gamecocks, and I had the South Carolina Gamecocks, and it wasn't even supposed to pay out that much. I was supposed to get paid. It was a $5 bet. I was supposed to win like 7 back, and it friggin' lost. So you know how much I got back? I lost $5. On the South Carolina Gamecocks.
Women's sport. Why are you betting on women?
The lady Gamecocks are not the ones that lost.
Yeah.
It was the male Gamecocks that lost. The lady Cocks
that's
always
great
pull
difference.
through. Don Staley, I would never bet against Don Staley. That's worse than going against Tom
I would
Brady.
never bet against Don Staley.
That's correct. She is
Give away
the
a lot of
coach.
points, don't you?
I would never.
Zach, you
Well,
got to give away a lot of points.
Well, I did a money line, which means they just had to win, and I still lost anyway because the male Gamecocks lost. Yeah, it was supposed to be like an easy one. I was just thinking like this is an easy. This is just gonna be an easy win, a bankroll builder. But then no, it blew up in my face.
Zach,
So what's
we
up
got
with
1
that?
minute left.
Yes.
We got 1 minute left. You know what I'm going to start betting on, Zach? I'm going to bet on your bets.
I don't know, man. Like I said, I did better. I was plus. I was in the green. I was in the green though. I won more on the other one than I lost on the second one. I'm still in the green.
You believe that? I don't believe that. All right, we got to get out of here, guys. Patrick Young,
I'm gonna stay
homework
away
for you
from it.
tonight. 3 games. 3 games tonight. I'll get my 3 games. Zach, you got 2 games.
I'll
You're
try.
already down for Cincy and Baltimore. We'll track it, Zach, and you're either up 15 or you're Zach. If you start with a loss tonight, that's hilarious. By the way,
That Joe Burrow, he's so hot
We're
right now.
getting
He's going to
out
get it
here.
done.
Fun day. I want to thank everybody at Sliders. They are so hospitable to us. We appreciate their business. That'll wrap it up for Patrick Young and, of course, Zach Rothrock. I'm Terry Norvelle. Have a great rest of your evening as we will be at Bricks Jack's Beach on the other side of the beach tomorrow, 4 to 6. Come by and say hi.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
For over 20 years, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists has been providing the highest level of orthopedic and spine care to patients throughout Northeast Florida. Now, we're making that same great care even more convenient with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists Direct, a walk-in clinic where you can be seen for pain or injuries with no appointment needed. Staffed by orthopedic physicians and specialists, we offer everything from diagnosis and treatment to imaging and bracing, all with no appointment needed. For more information, hours, and locations, visit our website.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dynamic Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jacks to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jacks in your app store either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jacks 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms, whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV. You can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry, we still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jacks 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
Summertime means sizzling sales at Nimnick Buick GMC. The #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville has lots of inventory to choose from with their best price guarantee. Nimnick never charges above MSRP. You can save up to $10,000 off select new GMC Sierras or get rates as low as 1.9%.
You know, I'm a truck guy. GMC Sierra, my trim level is an SLT. This one's an Elevation. Pretty good looking color as well. So here at Nimnick Buick GMC, you have a lot to pick from. My father-in-law, he drives this, an Enclave, so I feel like that GMC in the family. 2025 is coming around the corner, which means it's almost time to close out those 2024s this summer.
You can schedule a test drive at NimnickBuickGMC.com. And while you're there, check your trade value and customize your payment options. Nimnick is there for you, even on Sundays. Visit the showroom on Phillips Highway or shop online at NimnickBuickGMC.com. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941.